Aquarius. So, you know, I did a whole 15 minutes of live streaming on YouTube and it just kept cutting off. And I just was like, you know what? I'm not going to get upset with this. I'm just going to stop because I think I tried like three times. I won't exaggerate, 3 times to kind of get it going. I would look up and it would just kind of like be like, oh, I'm not really there. So then I was like, they keep missing things that I'm saying, and I'm really not trying to have that. So here I am recording it, and it's probably going to upload faster now that I'm doing it this way, which is what I should have done in the first place. But I'm warmed up for you, okay? So here we go. Shuffle the deck. A card fell out. It's the Prince of Swords, which is the equivalent of the Knight of Swords here, okay? So this is communication, right? It's also related to that throat chakra, okay? We have blue here in the image, right? And this knight is actually cloaked in blue. It's coming from a place of Taurus, even though it's 2/3 Gemini, mainly, being that it's the Knight of Swords. But, you know, that throat chakra is activated, or was, you know, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the energy of communication and the throat chakra being activated by an air sign person, or maybe someone who was a Taurus or a Gemini, or a combination of both of those. Or fire, too, because there's a little bit of that, too. Like, all of the knights are fire. All of the princes are fire, okay? So this is passion, aggression, communication coming in fast, quick, aggressively, and we're dealing with that, okay? Oh, excuse me. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles, which is talking about feeling left out in the cold, or there's a sense of detachment from something that was otherwise once familiar, that was sort of like instituted constructs that were shared understandings, right? Because this is Mercury in Taurus, and Mercury is talking about understandings, right? Learning, okay? Situations, and being able to adapt to situations. And this is kind of like not being able to adapt to a situation, or maybe this is having to be being forced to adapt to a situation that you wish that you could break free of, right? Or whatever, at some period point or another. It's at the bottom of the deck, so this does talk about feeling left out in the cold by either you, or you feeling left out in the cold by someone. This is also some sort of like financial thing that might be making you feel like you're being left out in the cold, right? You might even be challenged by what you think that you can have, or what you think that you can create. This is a necessary evil, so you have to learn these lessons of not always being able to have what you want to create, right? And this is also saying like, whatever this is that shifted or changed for you, it's probably good because it's getting you out of the expectations, right, that you may have. So release your expectations, right, and allow yourself to free your mind, you know, and whatever it is that you need, or whatever it is that you want, or whatever it is that you're trying to create for yourself or trying to be, you need to voice that, right? So I feel like I need you to hear yourself say certain things, right? Okay, because this Five of Pentacles is Mercury and it's Taurus, so it's saying say something, right? Say so, okay? But you might even just be stubborn, right, from saying something, okay? This could even have to do with a relationship or a job. It's like you don't want to say anything, you know? It could be a relationship or a marriage, right? Something like that. Or with family, right? It could be like challenges that might be happening with family or relationships, or, you know, the jobs that you have formed relationships with that help you cultivate things in your life that are lasting comforts and securities for you, right? But it really is how you're thinking. And it also is like what you're saying to yourself. So stop pouting, right? Stop pouting and actually take charge, because this is a 5, so it's a sense of power that needs to be felt, right? You need to be motivated by this, and it needs to motivate you in all the right ways, you know what I mean? So it's time to stand up for what you believe that you deserve, you know? And that's what this Prince of Swords is talking about. Going after something with passion and aggression that you feel like you deserve. And you need to say that. You need to think positively, right? And here we go. At the center of the reading, of the center of the spread for you guys and gals out there, we have the 4 of Pentacles, which is preventing something from getting in. You might be protecting your emotions in some kind of way. You might be emotionally closed off. You could just be focused on work right now and not thinking about how you feel. You know, you might be even like, I don't have time for this, right? I don't have time for certain things, you know? The 4 of Pentacles is Sun in Capricorn. So when the Sun is in Capricorn, you might be dealing with a Capricorn, or you could be dealing with a Leo, or you could just be dealing with someone that is overwhelming, that might be stubborn in a sense, because the Sun is overwhelming and Capricorn is kind of like overbearing or stubborn, right? Leo as well, the Sun as well, right? And this is Cancer too. So Cancer is also like emotionally closed off, protective of the emotions for sure. So this is kind of like that type of thing. There's a lot of responsibility and a lot of weight here, and a sense of strength that you're going to have to embody, you know? So whatever it is that you want to achieve, you're going to have to embody that. You're going to have to be becoming that. You're going to have to be changing something so that you can see yourself climbing that ladder or moving closer towards that. I feel like you are getting closer to something, and it's almost making you feel aggressively you're very encourageable right now by what you're seeing build or stack up, that type of thing. It's like building blocks, right? So you're concentrated on that, what you're building, what you're cultivating, and what's important, because this is also survival too, right? So you're thinking about, like, you know, okay, here we go, let's do what we got to do, right? And then the world is here being like, yup, do what you got to do. You're changing, right? You're being challenged. You're being tested as well, for sure. Your strength is being tested emotionally, and also you're establishing yourself financially, establishing financial norms, right? And we're talking about patterns as well with the World card. So it's learning how to change up your patterns as the chapters of your life shift, right? As the phases of your life kind of like move on, right? Things are very cyclical. Things have come full circle. And this is kind of like a graduation of sorts, like fulfillment, contentment, right? This is Saturn saying, like, yes, you finally learned this lesson. It might have been hard. There might have been a little bit of like fighting back, right? But right, you're also seeing where your strengths and your weaknesses were too. So now you're aware of that, because these 3s talk about what you're aware of, you know. And sometimes you have to be receptive of the lessons that you're being made to learn, right? That you're being forced to learn. Saturn, okay? And then it's almost like it gets on your nerves so much that you really just kind of like, you know, aggressively, like, just go with it, right? Be like, yes, this is what needs to change, right? So this is kind of like feeling like, yes, some stuff needed to shift, right? And because you were so ready for it to shift, because you realize how you might have been holding yourself back before, now you're like, yes, move towards that. Move towards that. I'm ready. So there definitely has been something that has changed. You've matured, because the world talks about maturity as well. You know, talks about time passing. Okay, look, I actually have a fucking mustache and a goatee right now, and I always kind of like knew I would have it. Okay, I mean, what are you saying? And that's just because, like, sometimes that's how it comes to me, you know? Because one day, I mean, I was completely shaven, and I was like, yes, bitch, like, when you get that mustache and that goatee, it's gonna be on. And I feel like it is on right now. But ain't nobody on me. 11th house energy. Okay. Anyway, determination, strength, courage, motivation, seeing where you've grown, and agreeing that you have. And because you agree, you're embodying your new potential, right? Explore your new potential. This is why that live stream got cut off. Aquarius, we're your age. We are cusping. We are on the way at that threshold. Look. Whoa, it almost looked like my arm went through there. This is literally how I am when, like, no one is around. Okay? But yeah, we're in your age. Aquarius. And Saturn is in Capricorn right now, transforming the constructs, the things that we have been feeding off of, the governing systems, the economy, you know, the oppression. That's why Saturn and the Devil card is the trickster. Because you could just be going along with things just because, you know, you think you're getting something out of it, and you're realizing that what you have just been going along with, you weren't really getting anything out of it. That's not true. You got something out of it, obvious. Brakes. Hold on, honey. Let me reverse this card. Right? Saturn wants me to pay that toll. I am so sorry. Many lessons learned. Okay, so now we're back. So, definitely lessons learned. Definitely moving forward. Definitely receiving all the things that you deserve for learning these lessons. And it has not been easy because we have had many different areas of our lives that have had to be galvanized, strengthened, forged, right? Beautiful card. The flow, going with the flow. You know, I give thanks even with the challenges. If I'm crying because of how hard things have been, I still give thanks. Someone kind of like smirked at me saying that the other day, and it's someone that I really like. I don't know why they did that. They were a Capricorn. And so I'm a Cancer moon, so I was like, maybe, you know, maybe that's not it. But they're like Buddhists. Let me stop. But I was like, were you laughing at me because I said that? But I'm serious. Thank you. I sure will. Because life is hard. And you have to learn the lessons by being challenged, because nothing came easy. Good things come to those who wait. Good things come to those who stake their claim. Okay? Not really. Because people have staked their claim and it's gotten us into some trouble. That's why we're going into the age of Aquarius right now. And that's what Capricorn be doing, staking claim too. So what were we staking claim to? That we're like, whoa, why was I staking claim to that? Like, let me pull this flag out of this ground, honey, because this ain't mine, and you know, I don't want to be tied down to this. So, right, the world card is Capricorn, and it talks about establishing things and building things, architecture. So what are we building? What is the archetype? You know, your archetype is going to shift and change and morph. We're transmuting things, okay? So we're experiencing a sense of transmutation going on. So things have changed, and I like that. That's why it was alt. I was gonna name this one Alt Everything. Alternative, ulterior motives, alteration. altitude. Aquarius. All right, in the past, ruin. Closing out cycles, concluding things. Not going in the same path. Your thought patterns are changing. Your motivation, your inspiration, okay, is changing. Your perception of things have been challenged, right? If you wondered where it was all going, now you know. Now you know what a lot of it means, right? You have some insight. You're coming back from something with a story to tell. And lessons learned. And that was then. And when it turns into the Ace of Swords, this is now. Okay? Do you remember the time? Yeah. That's past tense, boo. I mean, you know. And it talks about moving on, and it talks about allowing yourself to go with the flow of things in life. You know, vogue with life, vogue with life. Progressions. And that's what we do. You know, Saturn is about progressions. The 10s are about progressions. The 4s are about establishments, which are programmed. So your programming is changing. Hit it. Child, that moon and that Venus are conjunct in Cancer, I believe. Yes. And Mars is conjunct Eris in Aries. But it's that moon and that Venus conjunction today in Cancer. Anyway. So it's giving you 4 of Cups energy, and it's also giving you 2 of Cups energy. Love it. Anyway, yeah, that 10 of Swords, okay, what's done is done. What was said, what was said. What was thought, what was thought. This is also philosophies changing, and you can understand that, right? It's a 10, so your philosophies have changed, right? That's related to Jupiter, the wheel of fortune, which is Sagittarius, which is philosophy. But then it's also perceptions too, because philosophy is your perception of things. How are you perceiving things? The way you perceive things now is different. A double dose. That's what I'm saying, like 2 and 2. Because dose. Spanish, Mexico, Cancun, what's going on? Travel? Oh, did you turn down some travel plans? Or something. Yeah, also childhood memories. Yeah, this is some things too. This is like memories of the past. This could be childhood memories, right? Dealing with some stuff, right? Putting some stuff behind you, okay, for sure. Also work things, you know, experiences, things that have been really challenging and have really intimidated you through the path of your life. Because there are certain times where things happen to you in your life, and the memory of those things will constantly be an intimidation factor, just because. Yesterday, I got off the train and I was walking to Shanti to go read, and I was just like, the energy, what's going on? And this was like literally a block away from what I was about to encounter. I was in the middle of one block, and then I got to the middle of the next block, and I had that thing. Okay, so I'm walking and I'm like, damn, like the community, right? Venus in the 11th house. Venus is conjunct the moon today. My natal Venus is in my 11th house. In my Cancer moon, right? So the moon is in Cancer. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so I'm going. This is yesterday. So the aspect was still kind of like really there. Today it's on too, so I'm going to go read today. So I really need to like make sure I'm protected and shit. But it was just too, maybe it's just my intuition picking up 2020. And that was my nickname as a child. God, what is this? Is the string coming out? Carnelian, honey? Get some carnelian if you don't have it. Virility, right? Strength, passion, all of that. Creativity too. But it's like, I need somewhere to like put it, because like, well, I'll be like, the creativity is just going crazy. So I can't really dance right now, and I'm not going to the gym, but I work at home, so work at home and all of that shit. I'm sorry, I'm like going off. But yeah, you know, learning lessons, all of that. I'm sorry, I kind of went on a tangent. Let's look at the sun placement. The Wheel of Fortune, right? Jupiter. Look. Thank you. You brought it back to me. So, you know, travel, movement, opportunities, learning, right? Putting the past behind you. It's also growth that comes from learning from the past, you know? And that's what this is too. Yeah? The Wheel of Fortune, you know, and this is kind of like a circle of protection as well, you know? Boundaries, right? So it's being able to see the difference between, you know, A and B, right? They don't merge together. So like when you come from point A and you're in point B, you're in point B, right? And you got to get that gate right when you get to the airport. Otherwise, you're gonna be on the wrong flight and you're gonna end up in the wrong place. They ain't even gonna let you on the plane, first of all. Okay, so really it is about boundaries. Excuse me, honey, you have to go. You know, it's not about that, but it's like, you know, you signed up for that, right? So what are your goals? What are your foundations, and what are your foundational goals? I'm telling you, sometimes you have to know what you're going to do before you do it. And then you have to just kind of like go with the flow, right? Take advantage of opportunities as you get there. Some people want to be actors, but you know, for them to like move to LA and try to like audition for movies isn't the way to go. You have to probably like go to school to get some training for some people, right? Or you have to like, you know, start learning about like the history, right? Shakespeare, all of that, Greek myths, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? And then, you know, because everything takes time and nothing comes easy. And if something comes easy, then I kid you not, it's going to be a lot to maintain. Okay? Some people win the lottery, but they have to work to not spend all that money and not to give it all away. Right? So things do come easy, but there's work that comes after that too to maintain it. Okay? Anyway, I don't know why I went there. But this is an opportunity. You got the Wheel of Fortune in the Sun position, and the Sun card is 19, which is reduced to a 10. So this is good right here, right? And it's reiterating that something has completed and something has put, like, you know, stop feeling bad about what it is that has changed that makes you sad. You were meant to change. We got seasons. We get night and day, right? We got 12 signs. We got so many different species that live on Earth, right? Things were meant to be different, okay? You know that. You're an Aquarius. So it's like, because of that, it's like sometimes we focus on like how other people have changed. It's like we need to focus on how we have changed, honey. Yes. Right? Don't cut yourself short. Don't sell yourself short. And don't cut off your growth. You know, and sometimes growth is not fun. You know, does everybody like to go to school and learn? I mean, most people do, but after the fact, they're like, thank God I stayed in school. Thank God I got that education. And thank God I learned something. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you're going to school and you cut in school, then you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to get, you're not going to grow, right? You're kind of like going against it, right? That's kind of almost like Aquarius, right? But some people don't end up going to high school, or some people don't graduate from high school and they're like millionaires and billionaires. So like, sure, but what we've learned is that you have to allow yourself to be challenged and endure those challenges to experience a level of personal growth that is going to be pivotal to your success in life. Okay? Does that make sense? Hit it. So now let me go to the moon. But the Wheel of Fortune is saying, yes, opportunity and growth. We're living. Okay, we got a 9. 9 of Pentacles related to the 9th house, related to the Hermit. So it's talking about, you know, a realization, right? And this is what I was talking about, learning those lessons, right? Foundational goals. Realizing that you're going to have to like practice some level of restraint, discrimination, adaptability, you know? And you have to be inspired by what your surroundings, what you see going on around you is happening. You have to be inspired to adapt and to change by that. You know what I mean? It's like health as well. If you're noticing something, if you're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm really dehydrated, drink some water, drink a lot of water. If you feel like, wow, I'm not eating the right foods, you better start eating the right foods. Do it for a week and see what happens. You know what I mean? If you realize you're not getting the right amount of sleep because you're trying to be out there for other people, then you need to realize that you need to invest in yourself first. Pay yourself first in all areas. Okay? So this is kind of like, you know, you receiving reciprocity from focusing on your goals and creating based on what your needs in life are. And also, you know, yeah, you know, you can handle it on your own. You can handle things for yourself. And this is also kind of like, you know, you might be emotionally detached or feeling lonely, and there's a need for companionship here for you to feel like you have a healthy balance in your life, because it's Venus and Virgo here, right? And Venus rules Libra, but it also rules Taurus, okay? This is related to the moon too, so it's talking about growth patterns, right? So there we go, more responsibility, growth patterns, things that are coming to you as you're going towards them, right? And it's also healthy boundaries, right? You're setting, like, this is a budget, right? Because having a budget is like setting healthy boundaries for yourself, okay? So being very mindful of your spending, excessive spending, right? You can buy yourself a couple of things here and there, but, you know, don't do things that so overly zealous that, you know, it's more harmful than it is good, right? So just practice some restraint and some discrimination when it comes to, you know, overindulging, because the 9s do have to do with like overindulgence too. You probably should try to indulge in nature for your emotional comfort, right? Ooh, I'm hot. I gotta drink that water. You know, reading is so crazy. It drains and it also dehydrates the hell out of you. I was like, there are no lemon in here. It's mandarin orange flavor. I think they need to get their flavors together. Took out. Look at me. I have a lot of Virgo energy too. Let's go and see what's in your anxieties. You know, wait. Because this 9 of Pentacles is talking about business, it's talking about work, and it's talking about being like this, that, and the other. You know, because it's like, am I going for this? Am I going to continue pursuing this? Do I want to continue pursuing this? I might have to change something. I might have to take advantage of another opportunity that says like it's going to, you know, be beneficial to me too in some kind of way. Because Venus is a benefactor. Beneficent. Let's see what's going on in your anxieties here. It should be related to the moon position, but we'll see. Ace of Pentacles, and it is because that 9 of Pentacles is Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles to me is the awareness of your financial resource. Awareness of what is meant for you, is reserved for you. Reserved for your use, reserved for your consumption, right? It's also reserving time. You have anxieties about a job situation or about money. Something's going on with that because it's in the moon position and it's in the anxieties. But also that's like hopes and dreams too, because what your anxieties and what you're hopeful for, it's almost very much like the Star card, right? I don't think that you need to worry about money, because in the moon position we have the Nine of Pentacles here, like, right? Okay, you got the Wheel of Fortune in your Sun position. You got the World card crossing the Four of Pentacles there, right? It's talking about saving money. That's the thing. Also, right, it's almost like you want something, you feel like you need something, okay? Because the Ace of Pentacles bring in improvements as well, right? It's a good card, you know, the Ace of Pentacles with the Nine of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, the World. This is great. You're just putting some things behind you from the past, because what I say is that, like, your mental state is going to affect everything. It's as above, so below. And we know that from as above, so below, right? The rain. The rain changes our conditions here. If one minute when it's not raining and sunny, we're living, loving, yes. But if it's raining, we're like running for cover, or like people are a little bit uncomfortable, you know what I mean? So like when the conditions change sometimes, we have to be aware of how the change of the conditions has affected us, or how we should respond to that. You know what I mean? So it's talking about responding, right, to the condition, to the change, you know, and its realized potential, right? So you could just be having the anxieties that you can't realize something, that you can't materialize something in your life. Because right here, we're talking about end of life stuff and things like what you want to achieve in your life overall, right? Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's kind of like, damn, that's intimidating. Like investing in my life, investing in myself. Like, it takes a lot of work to invest in yourself or to invest in anything, right? So like, yeah, you just got to be on another level once you start doing stuff like that, right? That's why Saturn is here. That's why that Ten of Swords is behind you. So we're maturing. We're not doing those childish things anymore. Except for when we, you know, have fun over here. But yeah, Ace of Pentacles is a great card to get. And you got some cards over here. You know, the Five of Pentacles is down here. So it does talk about worry about that. And, you know, maybe not being able to, like, whatever. It could be sexual, too. Sensual. That type of thing. About your body, right? So insecurity is about your body. Because the aces could be talking about your physical appearance as well. And because this is a pentacle, right? So it's like, don't be worried about that. You better love the skin you're in. Okay? That's another lesson from Saturn too. You better love the skin you're in. Shall I say it again? And the World is a 3, related to Venus. Saturn being exalted there. Let's look at your Mars. I said that Saturn was exalted. Mars was exalted in Capricorn. Saturn is exalted in Libra, right? That's what I said. Saturn is exalted in Libra. That's why, because the World is here in Venus. Okay, got it. Sorry. Whoa. But here we go. Mars. In your Mars position, you have Saturn, which is Trinunos from the Druid Crafts Tarot. And that's the devil. Unhealthy attachments. Mars wants to get rid of it. Getting rid of the unhealthy attachments that we have. The unhealthy channels of communication, right? Responsibility. Realization. First stage of a lesson of spiritual enlightenment. Because there's different lessons of spiritual enlightenment. Because there's so many different things. I might be spiritually enlightened just by looking at this plant here. I don't think you can see it. Oh, that's my wand. But yeah, you can see it. It's right here. Doesn't want to be seen. But you know, you can be spiritually enlightened from a lot of things that are in nature, right? So you probably need to go out into nature, like I said before. Okay? Just because this is like the green man, god of the forest, that type of thing, that type of energy. So read about the green man if none of you know it. If all of you are spiritual out there, you know, it ends up being like a little bit of a melting pot as to like what calls to you as a divine inspiration, right? Lots of different things for different people. Different kind of people. But you know, this is like, what are you spending your time doing? You know, and are you aware of certain things that have established themselves in your life that you may not be paying attention to, that are to your detriment? That type of thing, you know. Also, it's a job responsibility, right? You know. You might even be feeling like you need to destroy some aspect of your job or your employer that might be taking advantage of you, or you might be feeling like manipulated in some kind of way, or you just might be feeling like something doesn't serve you. A job may not serve you as well as you thought it could, that type of thing. Also, not getting caught with your pants down here with this Chernunos card. All right, with the double card. Beware of temptation. You know, Mars is like the virile energy, virile energy of the sexual, the libido, passion, right? Predation. So just be aware of that. Of letting your instincts get the best of you. But also, you know, don't kid yourself about something, you know? Stop trying to make yourself believe that something is better or something is okay the way that it is. Because sometimes this card says that it's not okay the way that it is, right? It also could be like that you're being watched, right? So that people can like, it's like people are paying attention to like your behaviors, right? They're looking at it, they're being critical of maybe like your behavior, right? Because sometimes this card could be like laziness. But it's like being aware of where a conflict is, right? Where the laziness, what I mean is like mental laziness, like not being able to think it through. So it's like, think something through, right? Or maybe you've been thinking it through for too long and you're not like detaching from that thought process because maybe you've learned the lesson, or have you? Let's look at the Venus position. King of Cups, okay. So Venus, relationships, pleasure, right, attraction. King of Cups is 1/3 Libra, 2/3 Scorpio. King of Cups is talking about, you know, you might even be feeling kind of emotionally isolated, right? And there could be somebody coming in this King of Cups energy that might be having, you might be having an emotional attachment to, emotional codependence. See, okay, the King of Cups is air and water. So it's like your idea, your perception, right? What you're thinking about the King of Cups, or what the King of Cups thinks, is that he has to be emotionally strong in some kind of way, shape, or form. He does have a deep desire to connect emotionally, and it's also like mastering your emotions. You know what I mean? Taking responsibility for your own emotional healing and what triggers you emotionally, right? Or what you have been holding on to, right? So we're mastering how to process our emotions and the things that have influenced us along the way. Because it's talking about growth, emotional growth that has happened, right? And appreciation for the memories that have led, right, to the emotional growth. The situations and the memories of those situations that have led to the emotional growth, right? But this says that you're ready and you're poised for a new emotional situation, because there's a sense of completion here, I feel, with the King of Cups. Because it's Scorpio, so it's talking about transformation, right? I feel like your relationships have transformed you and they have given you a new sense of self, right? But then there's also still some stuff deep down that we are still dealing with, you know? We might be hiding from some things that are inside of ourselves, okay? Or maybe someone wants to connect with you, you know? Really desires to. Waiting. So someone is waiting to like have a connection or something like that. Or this is someone that hasn't come into your life yet. You know, they might be there, you're just not seeing it as such yet. But I don't know. King of Cups is like Venus and Scorpio, so it's like passion. Maybe you need to, you know, the sexual desire nature as well is something. Yeah, I swear, we better still be in the morning. It's not even noon yet. I'm living. Weeklies, I gotta do those. Oh, God. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I do. So let's flip over your 3 future cards, darling. Ooh, now I'm getting like, whoa. Princess of Swords, right? Okay, so we got the Page of Swords here, right? Good. This is like changing focus, being more optimistic about the changes that you are experiencing, because you know that it's just a learning process. This card is beautiful. "43 minutes and 12 seconds in, I realized that I just need to pull it back a little bit and not try to give you a big ass view of the card, because it changes it. This looks better. Gorgeous. So it's like the beauty of growth, right? I feel like you also are like going to be taking a risk too. Saying something. Also, it's almost like you won't be controlled, obviously, because in the Mars position, the Trinity Gnosis, they're the devil, and then the King of Cups comes right after that, which is 4, right? It's related to that 4 of Cups, which is Moon in Cancer. Right? Ending a cycle of control and maybe emotional manipulation. And the Princess of Swords is like, yep, new beginnings, change, phases change, right? Charm. Let's do stuff that kind of like inspires us, okay? Let's take some risks too. Look at her. Wrapping her clothes around the blade, honey. The Don't do that, child. If the blade is sharp, you're gonna ruin your clothes. So take your time, you know, don't be too presumptuous. Some of y'all out there, I don't know. Future. Some of y'all listening to Future out there. Anyway. Ten of Pentacles, the wealth card. Health is in your wealth, but it is all around. And you know what, you got the Nine of Pentacles. Well, first of all, you got the Four of Pentacles, and then you got Saturn, the world, right? Which is the Earth cards. Bam. Then you got the Nine of Pentacles, and then you ended up getting the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. So this is good. You know, there's a sense of searching for money, or searching for wealth, or searching for some satisfaction, material satisfaction. You know, but like I said, with what is it? With great something comes great responsibility. I don't know. But you know, the Ten of Pentacles is talking about rounding something out, right? Achievement, okay? And there's a wealth of knowledge here. And it's very self-actualizing, right? So it's like there's something that has changed, right? Time has gone by. So crazy too. You see the dog here? It's giving you like a little wolfhound. It's there again, but now he's a little older. But this is like, you know, this is a card of extremes in consumption. Also, this could be like needing to take care of a lot. Maybe you need some help or some assistance with something. You know, it could be financial assistance, or it could be paying someone to do a job for you. You know, maybe some of y'all need to get somebody to clean the house, or maybe y'all need to like take a job. Maybe some of you guys are thinking about taking a job cleaning, or being in some kind of like service, some kind of like security or something like that. You know, some of you are thinking about doing that. Some sort of service-oriented job. Because look, this person is not in this family, because they are wearing brown, their hair. Like, these people are taken care of, right? She's playing with some gorgeous that she got. You know, the old man has a lot of responsibility to take care of them. You know, they have a lot. So you need to look around you and see where what you have achieved is to be recognized. Recognize what you have achieved. Mercury and Virgo. Thinking discriminately. You know, you could be picking apart something, right? Because Virgo does complain, like Pisces does. Just saying. I have a lot of Virgo, so I have a critical eye. I may not be complaining, but I'm thinking about how I would if I did. Okay. But the Ten of Pentacles is like responsibilities also, and respect, you know, and being thankful for what you have, right? And you've come a long way, you know, and don't let your, you might be worrying about maintaining something too, maintaining a lifestyle, right? And that's why I was saying you're gonna have to like change the way that you know, maybe some of y'all are experiencing a lifestyle change, you know. Maybe there's a portal, right? There's a coming of age here, right? Very coming of age. Last card. Two of Swords. You have a decision to make. I knew this card was going to come up, right? It's for you to make. And you're thinking about where you're going to go, who you're going to be with. Some of you are thinking about where you're going to go, move to. Some of you are going to think about if you're going to switch your job. Some of you are thinking about who you're going to be with in a relationship. And some of you are thinking, you know, how things are going to be from now on. Now that there's been a certain shift or change, right? A choice, something is being defined, right? Or there might be a little bit of a waiting period here, some reflection. You're thinking about something. You're reflecting on making a decision, you know? And it has to do with, you know, your job, earn income, friendships, family, what you may have been like allowing, ignoring. What are you passionate about? How has your growth experience, right, in these lessons that you have learned caused you to react emotionally and psychologically? You know, what are you thinking about now that you have a little bit more knowledge? Right? It's like comedy and tragedy, right? At the same time. But you have to take the lesson from that theatrical expression that the experience sort of like played out as. You can go your own way, go your own way, right? You can go your own way. Obviously, you know that, Aquarius. That could be talking about a breakup for some of y'all out there. Okay. Anyway, Aquarius, I'm living and I'm loving you. Let's just give you a little bit of clearing out, okay? I see that someone's in agreement. Yes, honey, growth, living. You did just have a full moon. That's talking about growth. Conclusive. You know, and if you know, don't go back to a relationship. I'm just telling you now. If you're thinking about going back to somebody you already been with, don't do it. No. You got other things to achieve and accomplish in life that aren't already the things that you've already experienced, or that aren't the things that you've already experienced. Those are stepping stones and lessons for you to learn, things for you to do, right? Real things, but you know, there's many rooms in a house. You can't experience all the rooms at the same time. Hold us on top. Watch the whole reading, y'all. I'm doing a 2020 special, and that's going to be going on until the 21st of August, so it's going to be right after the new moon in Leo. Follow me on Instagram. It's NYC Kendrick. Also, Providence Tarot, of course, if you're there. And if you're watching on YouTube, of course you are, like, share, subscribe. Definitely hit the notification bell, because sometimes YouTube will go and they will unsubscribe people from the channel. So, you know, that's just what we're dealing with. So make sure you're going and you checking and, you know, you hit that button. All right.